Aloha, everybody. Michelle Melendez with blossominnerwellness.com, standtogetherhawaii.com, and this is also on the Voice of Kona Radio 1.005 FM. And you can also join Voice of Kona Radio online as well, anywhere in the world. And I just want to welcome again Farmer Michael back to the show because
I'm a farmer.
he's a farmer for many, many years, but he's also been an activist for many longer years, almost 50 years, right? He was on the first at the first rainbow gathering and with the Hopis that were there, and he has a message to share about what's happening. And my first thing, a request to you guys is if you have not joined standtogetherhawaii.com, please go to standtogetherhawaii.com, join our email list because I am sending out actions. We are sending the affidavit to the governor, showing him the governor of Hawaii, showing him the constitutional violations that he has made against the people, perjured his oath of office. And we will be seeing that all the way through to the end. So if you want to be part of that and save these islands, please do join standtogetherhawaii.com. We're also going to be sending an affidavit to the Maui City Council and the Maui mayor, who have also perjured their oath. They've perjured their oath of office by allowing for the toxic dump in Alualu, and we will be sending that this week. So please join standtogetherhawaii.com. And Michael, thanks for joining.
Thanks for having.
So you have something to share. We're going to be talking about current events, what's happening in Yemen, the new nickname for the President of the United States.
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
I don't want to get censored.
Okay, go ahead. Well, I'll share it with you guys later. We'll do it spy-like.
And perjury happens.
Absolutely.
If you don't believe it, this woman here will expose it.
We're getting into it. So let's talk about Yemen, because these poor people, this is not a war, you guys. War means two sides have weapons and they're fighting each other. This is one side having weapons and the other side not, and innocent people are being taken down. So go ahead. You want to
So a lot of it is follow the weapons. You follow the allegiances and the allies of the countries. So everybody seems to think and know that Iran supports Yemen and Hamas and the Hezbollah
I'm
and
gonna grab that chicken.
others around the world. So the United States has sparked an active engagement with Yemen. Yemen is firing upon our ships in the Red Sea, and they are having a little shootout here. Yemen has been stopping ships that are going to Israel, hoping to stop the bombs that are going to Israel and then being launched on Palestine, Lebanon, and Syria. And now the United States and Great Britain are in their fourth day of bombing Yemen. Yemen's a fairly big country in that area. It's one of the larger countries population-wise and area-wise. Okay, so last night, they seem to be doing these bombings at night. I've got footage I saw this morning of last night's bombings. The U.S. is bombing Yemen neighborhoods, just like Israel is bombing the neighborhoods of Gaza, Lebanon, Syria, West Bank, indiscriminately, just bombing. And that doesn't bode well for the reputation of the United States. And at the same time, we have this court case going on at The Hague. That's the historical case that the World Court will decide if Israel is committing genocide or not. So you've got South Africa launching the complaint, supported by over 10 other countries in the world, saying that Israel is committing genocide in the Middle East. And to defend Israel, you have Germany and the United States speaking out, defending Israel, saying that there's no evidence of genocide. Yet we see every day in our news feed, on our social media news feed, because the mainstream media is controlled by Israel in our country, we see these images that are atrocious, brutal, shameful, cowardly acts by Israel. So Yemen is supported by Iran. Iran is a part of a coalition, just like NATO, uh, with Russia and China and a number of other countries. And if you attack one, you attack them all. And that's the dangerous place we're at in the world right now. And Iran has not joined in the war yet. They've been doing it through the proxies. Even Hezbollah has not been attacking Israel very much. Nothing compared to what Israel's doing to Lebanon. And these are the next countries in this growing fire of war, sponsored by the United States on one side, sponsored by Western Europe. And on the other side, you have the Arab countries that are kind of staying cool. And you have China and Russia just putting ships and armaments in the area. They haven't launched anything yet. So we haven't had any major engagements with any other major countries. But if you start attacking Iran, which Netanyahu has said he wants to do, he's said this about Libya, he said this about Iraq, and he's saying this about Iran. If you get rid of the regime in Iran, then there won't be any terrorism in the world. He said that about Gaddafi. He said that about Hussein. And that's just the formula for creating war, indiscriminate war. So this decision at The Hague right now, it stems from a 1948 genocide conference, convention, and that all the countries signed off on, even Israel signed off on it. What is genocide? And South Africa and these other countries are saying that Israel is breaking those rules for what not to do, or you committing suicide, the results being economic sanctions. In other words, no more bombs for Israel. Israel has to stop its aggression immediately. And now the United States and Great Britain have to stop bombing indiscriminate people in their neighborhoods, in their beds, in the middle of the night. These are war crimes. These are things you step over the line. Otherwise, we're back in World War II, where things like that happened. So we're trying to stop that, but I'll get to the solutions in a second.
So I just want to remind everybody, I've said this numerous times in my videos, that the United States is not a government. It is a corporation. This is not a government for the people, by the people. This is why we need to send affidavits like the one we're sending to the Hawaii governor and telling him, you have perjured your oath of office and you need to step down. And we do it in a peaceful way. And we do this with all of our government officials and we need to do this also with the president of the United States. We need to be sending him affidavits. We need to be taking this to civil court and telling them that you cannot violate the Constitution, which they are doing. And anything you want to say about on that remarks, and then we'll talk about solutions.
Okay, well, that's the solution right there. Just keep, well, it's a peaceful, I don't want to say attack, but it's a badgering. No, it's not badgering. It's getting their attention and saying the people are really upset with what you're doing. It's a way of saying not in our name. If you see a crime being committed and you don't say anything about it, then you're an accessory to the fact. You're an accessory to that crime. And we don't want to be a part of Genocide Joe's war. So that's the nickname that I hope we don't get censored for.
Who started that nickname?
That came out of the protests this weekend
In the United States or
in Washington, D.C.
in Washington, D.C., our own
chanting,
people.
Genocide Joe has got to go. And this is 2 days, 3 days before the first primary, which starts the election cycle for this year. So it doesn't, saying things like that don't bode well for Joe.
Mhm.
And the Constitution has been pretty much
Disregarded.
eviscerated, shredded over the last few years in many ways, with many examples. There's a conflict in our country, in most countries, where you can go outside the Constitution, outside of Congress, by declaring a state of emergency.
Which violates the Constitution. The state of emergency isn't even like the Constitution. That's totally a violation of the Constitution. So if any governor or mayor signs an emergency declaration, they have perjured their oath of office to defend and support the Constitution, because that right alone goes against the Constitution.
Okay, so that's one of the keys that has to be adhered to. Our Congress has voted a state of emergency for our country every year on September 11th since 2001. So that's 22 years of we've been in the state of emergency. And what does that do? It gives vast powers, executive powers, to the people in those positions, to the mayors, to the governors, and to the president of the United States. And you saw this really come to life with what's that guy's name? Trump? The Trump card came out, and he was executive powers this, executive powers that. He's pleading executive powers in court right now, that he didn't commit fraud in Georgia by trying to cut a deal to get some more votes. Anyway.
And also I just want to let you guys know, I used to be a Trump supporter, and when he started promoting remdesivir and the thing, I was like, okay, wait, what's going on here? What's going on here? And then I looked, and I really researched a lot about him, and I really fully believe he's controlled opposition to divide us.
Oh yeah,
and that's the
he's
whole
a
point.
part of the play.
That's the whole point, is to divide us. So
He's following a script.
We come together under the Constitution, and we stand together, whether you're a Democrat, whether you're a Republican, whatever, it doesn't matter. We stand together for the Constitution. We stand together as one people, one voice, saying this is the law of the land. And if you do not follow this, then you're booted. You got to go. You got to leave office. That's where we are. That's how we stand up. Go ahead.
Okay, so I tell people to just watch your level of hate for the other side. Don't choose sides. Stand up for what you believe in. Stand up for your Constitution. Stand up for your country. Don't hate Biden. Don't hate Trump, but love the Constitution. And there's things you can do as a citizen. As citizens, we can do the affidavit thing. We can go to the councils. We can impeach. That's a really good way. I have a button that says impeach. So impeach them all. Start over. So that's where we're at. The people want to end these
wars
across the board. Yeah,
crimes.
there's wars. There's war against our food. There's war against our energy. There's war against our way of life. So what's happening in Germany is the largest protest in their history are happening right now over food. And these are all the farmers in Germany getting together and parking their tractors on highways, in front of government buildings, and they're in protest. They have taken over their government buildings. They have taken over their capitals.
Tell what
their
are they
major
putting on their front
cities.
doors?
Well, in France, they're doing
Oh.
the same thing, but they're spraying their wash down pond sludge, their shit on the government buildings. They're dumping tons
France.
of shit in front of the government buildings, on highways, everywhere. They're making themselves known peacefully that they're in control of their lives, and they want the freedom to grow food. And this comes out of the whole climate change baloney, where they're shutting down farms because tractors use diesel fuel, and that's changing the
I'll
climate.
get the cat.
So the climate is engineered. Let's make that pretty clear. It's engineered. They're giving us artificial snow right now in the United States that you can put a lighter to it and it won't melt. It just turns black. It's like made out of plastic. There's all kinds of garbage in the air now. And when it snows, it's artificial, and that the climate is engineered. So out of that, farmers are being punished. Out of that, we don't eat. People don't eat. So it's slowly going into the growing season. Plant something,
Mhm.
buy some beans.
Yeah. Yeah. Start to look at indoor gardening, even if you get just a little garden beds or planting potatoes, some starches and things like that. And also, this is what we have to do. I'm going to be writing another affidavit and standtogetherhawaii.com. Okay. Go to that, sign up for the email list. There's going to be a template affidavit that you can do.
Stand together.
Stand together with your pinkies. And sorry, we were doing a pinky swear if you're listening on the radio. But so Stand Together Hawaii, I'm going to have a template affidavit so you can use this with any of your government officials. All you have to do is put in what part of the Constitution that they are violating. And I think I'll even, you guys, you can get the Constitution, a little template book, just go Constitution PDF. It's online. It's super, super easy. But by following the ones that I've created are for the governor, and I will create for the Maui City Council and the Maui mayor, you'll be able to see really easily how it works. And you send it to them, and then you have to keep going. You have to keep going because they're going to not respond. They're not going to respond because when you have an affidavit is truth in law. And if it's not rebutted by them, which means they don't respond to you with a rebuttal saying, no, I didn't violate my oath of office. I didn't violate the Constitution. This is how they have to be specific and show how they're not violating their oath of office when you're claiming they are. We take that to civil court. That affidavit is truth in law. So that's how we get this, but we have to stand up. And yes, we do have to use their courts. Somebody was saying we have to get our own courts. That is true as well. But we're going to start, I'm going to start this way. So standtogetherhawaii.com, and anything else you want to share. There's another thing about the WHO, which I'm going to be sharing about, because we need to also contact our legislative body to tell them to get out of the WHO. The United States Congress, let me just show this really fast. It is, let me find it really quick. It's the Article 97, and it hasn't passed Congress yet. It's still going through the motions. It's an introduction to getting out of the WHO. The WHO withdraw, yeah, HR 79 WHO Withdraw Act. And this is, it literally basically has two sentences, and I don't know why it's not coming up right now, but it's not coming up. It's not coming up. Okay. Hold on a second, you guys. It's opening up here so I can read it to you. It's like two sentences. Oh, here it is. This bill introducing, in fact, I'll just do a quick screen share so you guys can see it yourselves, and we'll read it together. So this is the other thing that what we're doing with Stand Together Hawaii. HR 779. This bill requires the president to immediately withdraw the United States from the World Health Organization and prohibits using any federal funds to provide for U.S. participation in the WHO. This bill repeals the 1948 act authorizing the United States to join the WHO. So what they're doing in the WHO is they're wanting to pass the pandemic treaty, which will make the WHO total power over the United States. And if you're living in a country, that's what they want to do for you too. But we want to contact our legislative body and say, vote this through, vote this through. So that is if you are on standtogetherhawaii.com, you will get an email of how to do that. It's really easy, just takes a little bit of time to contact them, but you'll have a whole template. So we're doing this together, you guys. Anything else you want to share, Michael?
Just say a couple things. One thing is, if you want to rebel, plant the seed, grow your own food. That's rebellion, because there's a lot of laws out there that haven't been exercised yet. One of them being the Codex Alimentarius, which is dead set on taking away organic farming and backyard farms. They don't want that. But so plant a seed. The other thing is, there's signs and omens everywhere. Here's an omen here. See that? There was an eclipse in October that is a sign. There's eclipses going on more and more frequently in more and more different sequences that are telling us that there's a breakthrough happening. The breakthrough is to get out from underneath the suppression we've been under all these decades, to where we have to fight for clean air, we have to fight for clean water, we have to fight to be healthy, we have to fight to work, we have to fight to have licenses to work. It's the freedoms have been taken away, and we're fighting now. The people around the world are protesting in record numbers, whether it's Indonesia, whether it's India, whether it's England, whether it's Washington, D.C. People are protesting like we've never seen before. And it's a number of reasons why they're protesting. But the ultimate thing is the people will get back in control of their lives and will be free.
Yeah.
So keep paying attention, keep active, and keep planting seeds.
Keep planting seeds. All right, let's do a quick prayer, and then we'll call it a day and send you guys lots of aloha from the Big Island. Great Spirit, infinite intelligence of all things, you are beating our hearts and breathing our bodies and pumping gallons of blood through the veins, miles and miles of veins. There's so many things happening that in not just in our bodies, but around the world, that you know how to run and how to function, because you've created everything. And we know that there is a higher purpose for all of this. And this higher purpose is giving all of the people courage to stand up and the fortitude and the tenacity to see this through, which we each have, because each one of us said, I will come at this time in history and I will make a difference, and I will help to set free this planet of these dark entities who want to control and harm innocent people, innocent children. Their reign is over. And we get to watch as they peaceably step down from their office, or they voluntarily leave or are removed in a peaceful way, that this planet is returned to the sovereign and to harmony with all humanity, that all people are one race, beating with one heartbeat of freedom, of peace, and of harmony together. And anything that is not in alignment with that peace, with that harmony, with that freedom, is being removed. And we get to watch as the miracle of light, love, and truth unfolds around the world. And we get to watch as the darkness leaves the planet, never to be returned. And we get to watch as a new world unfolds right in front of us, because of our actions, because of our courage, because of our tenacity and the way we want to live. And we know that it is done. And we give so much gratitude to all the light workers, to all the truth speakers, and to all the people that do take action. We give so much gratitude to all of them, knowing that the light and strength and love is always with each one of us. And so it is. Thank you so much. Thank you, Michael.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. All right.
Blessed be.
Blessed be. Again, remember blossominnerwellness.com, standtogetherhawaii.com, and the voice of Kona Radio 1.005 FM. Much aloha, everyone.